Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another Me First Morning. I am your host and energy alchemist, Patricia Ribeiro Wolfson. I'm an intuitive coach and an energy healer, a wife and a mom of 3 boys. And my mission is to help you, number one, calibrate your energy, which is way more important than you think it is. Number two, how to integrate self care into easy, doable steps. Because who has time to do self care in addition to everything else we have to do? And number three, my purpose is to help you shine your light in the world in your own unique way. Let me tell you, it is one of my favorite things to do is to see people start to come together and realize that they are the light that they need to shine, right? You are the light the world needs, right? The world doesn't need anybody else. The world needs you to show up as you are with your unique gifts, with your unique perspective, with your unique experience, with your energy. That's the point. So, that's what we do here. We help you get in touch, in tune, and embracing all of the magnificence of you. So, welcome. Say hi if you are watching. And if you're watching the replay, just let me know. Say hashtag replay. And if you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, please go to YouTube right now. Go to Jumpstart for Change and just click on that subscribe button and ding that notification bell so that you can be notified anytime I'm going live. I am definitely always live at 10 a.m. from Monday to Friday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You can find me here on Facebook and also on YouTube. Doing my thing, talking my stuff, giving my sermons as I usually do. And I hope you enjoy them and I hope that they are helpful. All right. So let's get started. I have my notes here that I look at. All right, don't forget that if you have not yet subscribed, if you have not yet downloaded your free GPS workbook, which I have right here, it is absolutely free. There are no strings attached. You will be on my email list. So if you don't want to hear from me, you can unsubscribe. But I recommend that you download the workbook anyway, because it can be really helpful in trying to figure out what is your foundational word, feeling, vision, right? What do you want to feel? It's important that you know that because we are calibrating to that feeling. Each and every day, we want to check in with how we're feeling. We want to check in with how we want to feel, and we want to bridge the gap between those two feelings. So if they don't match, right? So if you're feeling sad or disconnected or anxious, depressed, or any of those things that you're feeling, certainly, I recommend that if you're feeling if you're really struggling, please, reach out to a professional psychologist, psychiatrist, counselor, social worker, coach, whoever you feel would be appropriate to talk to about this, depending on what you're dealing with. If you're dealing with some trauma, then you need to have a trauma informed coach or professional. So just be aware. I highly recommend that. Everybody needs support to get through the tough times, right? Like, we're not meant to do this alone. We're not meant to go through life by ourselves, isolated in a cave, right? We're not. We're meant to interact. We're meant to get support and help, right? Back in the day, we used to have like villages, right? Now we have neighborhoods and we don't interact quite as much, but it's still there. The support is still there. Your community is still there. And people who want to help are still there. And if you haven't found your people, or if you haven't found, anything or anyone, any resource that can support you or help you, then please reach out and I will connect you with the resource that can potentially support you during this journey. Because, of course, I, have clients and I work with people, but my goal is not to just get clients. My goal is to support you and help you get whatever support you need so that you can impact the world in whatever way you are meant to, because that is your purpose. And my purpose is to make sure you remember your purpose. All right. So let's start our Me First mornings. I'm going to have a little A little coffee this morning. It's been a day. It's already been a day. The day just started, and yet it's already been a day. Everybody drop your emojis, raise your hand if you have also had a day today. Whether you're watching now live or whether you're watching the replay and you had a day leading up to the time that you're watching, just let me know. Give me a little show of support and let me know if you've been having a rough time too. I mean, we're all having tough times. It is tough times happening right now on the planet. So don't feel bad. Hi, good morning, Sound. Good morning. I'm so glad you're here. Okay, so let us get started. Let's light our candle. Let's say our prayer. Let's set our intentions. And then I will talk about our topic for the day. And what is our topic for the day? Hold on. Excuse me. All right. So, our topic of the day is the true purpose of your challenges. Now, I'm inspired to talk about this because it is so important for us to understand, and each and every one of you to understand, that the challenges you face in life are not a punishment. The challenges that you face in life are not meant to make you suffer, they're meant to make you rise up. And we're going to talk a lot about that. Well, we're going to talk about that today because it's something I'm super, super passionate about, because I hear people saying, like, the universe is testing me, or God is testing me, and I'm being tested and I'm being punished, and this is karma, blah, blah, blah. And, I can't speak for everyone, and I can't speak for sure. In the grand scheme of things, right? There may be karmic debts or things that we are resolving in this lifetime. But what I can tell you 100% without a shadow of a doubt is that the purpose of us being here on this planet is not to suffer, but to move through the suffering. And as we move through the suffering, standing up and standing in and leaning in to the person that we already are, our highest and greatest versions of ourselves. And very often we don't become that version unless we are squeezed, right? Unless we are pressured, much like, the diamond in the rough, right? It's like, unless you get any pressure, there's nothing for you to work against. There's no reason for you to show up, right? Not that there is no reason, but certainly when you are faced with challenges, it is an opportunity for you to really take a look at your life, to really take a look at your priorities, to like set things right and put up your boundaries, because suddenly you don't have time for garbage. You don't have time for BS. You don't have time to waste on things that are not connected to who you want to be when you're in the midst of a challenge. And that's the way it should be in life all the time. You should always have your boundaries up. You should always be focused on your priorities. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more. Okay. Good morning. Oh, hi, my love. My honey's watching today. Good morning. Good morning, Leslie. Good morning, Mom. Thank you. Thanks for being here. Woohoo. My support team is here. Okay. And so, of course, my regular who comes every morning to watch me. I love you. You're awesome. Okay. So let's put on some essential oils if you want. Oh, my God. Guys, I have dropsies today. All right. So if you have an essential oil, feel free to put it on. I am putting this one on. It is my clear quartz essential oil. Oh, I dropped the thing. Okay, who cares? We don't need to cover that right now. The smell's a little soapy for me. I think I may need to change that essential oil. The meditation one is much better. I'm just talking to you. Oh, yeah, that one's better. Okay. So now we are going to take 3 deep breaths. And as we take these deep breaths, this is our point. The purpose of this is for us to recharge, right? Just like at night, we plug in our phones. Also at night, we plug in ourselves, right? Like we disconnect from the world, and that is the way we recharge. It's through sleep, right? And you also can recharge your energy through, whatever you're eating, and hydration, and all of that is very important for your body, for this physical vessel. But I want you to remember that you are made of stardust. stardust, right? And you are also made of the earth. So this is our opportunity to recharge and call in all of the elements that make us who we are. We are calling in the sun, the sunlight, the stars, the power of the heavens, if you want to look at it that way. And we're just going to allow that to enter and go into our bodies from the top of our head, right? And at the same time, you're going to have your feet well planted on the ground. And as you have them planted on the ground, I want you to imagine that your feet are just kind of settling in and you are just rebooting, recharging from the earth, right? Just like, those new magnet chargers that the iPhones have where you just put the phone on the charger and it charges. Well, that's what we do with our feet on the ground each and every day. And if you actually go outside and put your feet on the grass or in the dirt, even better, right? It's like a really good charge. But even just planting your feet on the ground and intending that that's what you're doing, that you are recharging, that you are calling in that earth's life force energy, that same energy that allows the buds to pop up through in the spring, that is the energy that we are allowing to come into our body. And those two energies, right? That stardust and that earth dust, that dirt. I guess earth dust is dirt. All right. So between the stardust and the dirt that mixes in our bodies, we're also going to imagine that beautiful energy is cleansing and clearing anything that does not serve us. It is breaking apart all of that dense, stagnant, and stuck energy that is no longer part of us, right? We are getting like an energy bath. That's what we're doing, right? We are recharging and an energy bath to like cleanse our system. So let's take 3 deep breaths together and do that now. I like to hold my clear quartz. You don't have to hold crystals. You can just put your hands on your lap, right? With your hands down or facing up or in a mudra, whatever feels most resonant to you. All right, deep breath in and hold and release. Okay, let's do another deep breath in. Really, really deep breath. And as I've said before, I want you to imagine that you are inflating your wings right in the back. Just breathe in so deeply that they are going to come out. Okay, it's just using your imagination, but I love this image if it works for you. And hold. And release. Okay, and one last time. The wing image helps me to breathe deeper. If it doesn't work for you, then don't use it. It's just my own thing. But yeah, let's do that one last time and make it count. We are increasing our capacity to bring in life force energy. So let's do that now. And release. Beautiful. Okay. My phone is like buzzing like a mad thing. Okay. So that's if you hear like the buzzing, that's what the phone is, but I'm going to try to move it so we can't hear it. That was beautiful. Now we are going to set our intentions together. We already talked about the GPS word. And if you have a word, a phrase, maybe it's a visual image, it can be that too, of what you want to intend for your day, of how you want to feel in your life, what you want to embody in order to bring in and call in everything that you want in your life. Let's think about that intention now as I call up our prayer that we'll say together, which you can join me, or you can just sit quietly and just think about your intention or say your own prayer based on your own spiritual or religious beliefs. It all works because this is me first. And so it has to connect with you and whatever feels good to you and whatever resonates with you. I give you suggestions. If it works, awesome. If it doesn't, that's okay too. That's what this is all about. You figuring out you first, but it's called me first. Okay. All right. Divine Mother, Infinite Father, Creator, Ascended Masters, Archangels, Spirit Guides, Ancestors, and all beings of 100% pure white light, allow me to be a clear and open channel of your light and love without hesitation or ego. May the highest vibration of infinite consciousness connect with my higher self and release any and all things that no longer serve me. I ask that Saint Germain and his powerful violet flame burn away the things that no longer serve myself or humanity and hold us back from our divine existence. Help us to embody our intentions for the day and help us raise the collective vibration for the highest and greatest good of all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So be it, and so it is. Whew, so good. Okay. Oh, I said the prayer, but we forgot to do the stretching. So let's do that now, guys, because I didn't follow the list. All right. So just do some stretching. And what we want to do with all of this, with the recharging, with the stretching, right? We want to prepare our vessel for the day, right? It's like when you're going on a road trip, you got to set up the car. You got to make sure you have gas. You got to make sure you have all the fluids, the windshield wiper fluids, right? You want to maybe make sure that the car is clean for you to leave so that it has room for you to put things in it, right? This is the same thing. We need to set up our car. We need to set up our vessel, make sure that we have the energy that we need, make sure that we have the directions, right? That's our GPS when we're plugging in the coordinates like on our trip. And you need to do this every single day, right? Before you leave the house, every day you are making sure that you have the things you need before you leave the house. Well, this is also your vessel that before you leave the house, before you enter into the world, before you interact with anyone, you should have this, cleansed and clear and ready to receive information and also centered, so that you can show up as you want to and not be easily swayed one way or other or easily triggered one way or another. So that you can make clear decisions about what needs to get done in your life in order for you to stay on track for what you want. Okay. All right. So a little stretching, always good. And then shake it out, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Oh, all right. Beautiful. I'm going to pull a card now. And I know I talk and I shuffle and then I pull the card last. And I'm going to do that again because I like it that way. Because I like talking to you guys about sort of the ideas that get downloaded into my mind. But it's not just ideas. Um, the things that I talk to you guys about, it really is how I live my life and how I practice living my life. And that's really the important thing, is that it's a practice. And so the stuff that I talk to you about, like I'm doing with you, and there's definitely things that I've learned and things that I do without question as a routine all the time. And then there's other things that I'm just learning or leaning into and practicing. And I think it's important for us to share in this experience. And it's important for me to tell you that because I don't want you to think that I have everything, that I'm speaking to you like on high from a pulpit to say like, you guys need to be more like me. I mean, you could be if you want to, but my life is much more layered than it appears online. But I try to be open and authentic about that. And we all have struggles, and I work really, really hard to use the tools and strategies that I have learned throughout my life, through all the things that I've read, through all the things that I have experienced, through all the classes and courses and workshops and certifications that I have in regards to, personal development in the coaching industry and beyond, in the healing world, courses, certifications, all of that. I use all of those tools that I have learned. I don't use them all at the same time, but I use them as references. And it's important that you guys have tools because life is not easy. It's simple, right? The whole purpose of life is simple, but it's not necessarily easy because we're navigating through so much. And so I want to give you the tools to navigate. And so that's why I often will talk about challenges and why it is important that we face them in a certain way, right? Because we're going to face challenges in our life no matter what. And it's really easy to be convinced that you are facing challenges because you did something wrong, or you're being punished, or you're being tested by the universe. I mean, I myself have said, I'm sure if you find old videos of mine, you'll hear me talking about how the universe is testing you and you have to prove your worth or your mettle. I don't believe that anymore. I don't believe that we are being tested. I do believe that we are that our challenges are an opportunity for us to step into who we want to be, right? We're always working on ourselves. I mean, I don't know, maybe you're not always working on yourself, but I feel like I'm constantly working on myself. And I do. Think people are always looking to evolve or improve or, um, adjust things in their life. And and that's a good thing, and it's sort of like our own inclination. But one of the core values that I have, or one of my core missions, is to help you understand that you are not broken. You don't need to be fixed. There is nothing wrong with you, right? What happens is that sometimes we function in a way that is different than maybe what society expects from us, or we look at things in a way that makes certain things in our life more challenging because we don't function the same way, or we look at things differently, or we have certain gifts we haven't figured out how to use. And that's really what it comes down to, is that we have gifts that we haven't figured out how to use, how to manage them, how to hone them. I talk to my kids all the time about Spider-Man, right? If you watch the first Spider-Man, when he gets bitten by the spider, and depending on which Spider-Man movie you watch, well, it doesn't matter. Any one of the movies you watch, at the beginning, when he starts to get his powers, he doesn't know how to make them work, right? Like his hands are sticky and, he hasn't quite figured out his gifts because they're new. And there may be gifts that are new to you right now, or ways of being. And then there's also things and gifts and perspectives that you have had your whole life, but because it's been different from everybody else, you have been convinced that that part of you is broken. You've been convinced that that part of you does not belong in the world, and that you should be ashamed or guilty for doing things or looking at things or experiencing things in a way that's different than what people can relate to. And I'm here to tell you that's not the case at all. That's not the case. And this is what brings me back to challenges, because I truly believe that challenges will show up for us to remind us of who we are. Challenges will show up for us, and it forces us to just release and cut out any of the BS. I said at the beginning, and I'm saying it again because it's super important. Good morning, Dad. It's super important for you to understand that the challenges you face, they're not there because you messed up. Even even if in your human mind you are like, yeah, but I clearly made a bad decision, which then resulted in this challenge that I'm facing, right? But I urge you to look at it from the perspective of, a higher perspective, right, from source. And maybe you were supposed to make that mistake, because that mistake is going to lead you on the path that takes you exactly where you want to go. All day, every day, people are asking for what they want. Please, God, help me this. Please, God, help me with that. Please answer my prayers. Please solve my problems. Please fix this for me. Please, 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 God, please. Right? And so then what happens? We are faced with a challenge in our lives, and we think, well, I guess God doesn't love me because I asked for help and instead I got this. I got this diagnosis. I got this person who passed. I got this challenge in my health. I got this, these kids who are ungrateful. I got, I got fired from my job. I got forced to do whatever I needed to do in order to make ends meet or whatever, right? And I don't want to take away the trauma, the experience, the pain that you are experiencing in your life. I don't want to take that away from you. It is valid. It is real. There are shitty people out there. There are crappy circumstances. There is a terrible system in place. Humanity is not built the way it is. Society is not built for humanity to survive, okay, the way things are. Okay, so I don't want to take away any of the validity of those points. But at the end of the day, what I'm here to show you is that regardless of the truth, regardless of, the real, the situation, regardless of what is happening in your life, it still remains an opportunity for you to step into who you are. Who are you going to be in this challenge? How are you going to show up for yourself? How are you going to get yourself out of this? How are you going to face this? And there's things that you can't change and things you can't control, and there's nothing you can do about that. So crying about it or blaming people about it makes no difference. That's not going to help you. I mean, sure, there are things that you can do. There are actions you can take if it's, you're worried about what's going on politically or globally, or, there's organizations that you can join. There's things that you can do. So there's always something that you can do that is within your power, right? And that's the key. That's the key is you need to think about what can I do, right? So you're faced with these challenges and you're like, this sucks, right? So you have to ask yourself, what can I do to get out of this challenge? Or what can I do to make this better? How can I face this in a way that will help me face it? Right? What will give me, what tools do I need? How do I need to switch my perspective? What can I do? What's in my power? And there may be nothing in your power, but changing how you look at it. There may be absolutely nothing in your power except accepting it. But that also is you becoming who you already are, that higher version of yourself, that part of you that leans into trust and say, there's nothing I can do about this situation, but I'm going to trust it's for my highest good. And I'm going to show up being the person that I want to be, right? Show up as a compassionate and caring person, show up as a person with grace, show up as a person who loves, right? That loves life, that loves themselves, that loves their family. So, what does that look like in your life? You get to decide what that looks like, nobody else, right? But you can only control yourself. So, if your solution is, I want to change you, or I want to change how you look at things, or I want to change, this, like I said, when it comes to, government and policies in society, there are paths you can take. So take those steps, right? And go down that path. If that is what makes you feel like you are contributing to the situation, if that is what is going to make the situation better for you, it may not change in your lifetime, but if you contributing to it makes you feel like you're doing something, that you have a purpose, that is your mission, well, then that is your mission, right? That is your mission, right? What is it that I am not satisfied with in my life? What can I do about it? What can I do about it right now? And that becomes your mission. Your mission and your purpose in life becomes, who do I need to be in order to overcome these obstacles? How can I show up for myself so that I don't have to face these obstacles again? Because that's really what it comes down to, right? Because the pain that we feel is how we heal, right? The pain that I feel about any stress or trauma or experience in my life, that pain is where the healing is, right? I can't ignore the pain and expect to have healing. You have to address it. You have to look at it. You have to look at it and then you have to do something about it. So you have to decide what you're going to do about your pain. And when you make a decision about what you're going to do about your pain, that is where the healing begins. When you take the healing into your own hands, and you say, I'm going to move through this. I acknowledge this. I accept this pain. I see this pain, and I don't want to feel this pain anymore. And here's what I'm going to do about it, right? If you have a headache, you don't just sit there and go, oh God, this headache, it's so terrible, and start screaming about your headache. Right? No, you figure out, oh my God, I need to figure out some way to solve it. So you may take medication, you may do meditation, you may get some essential oils, you may go to the hospital. Who knows? It depends on the level of your headache. But you don't just sit there and yell and complain about your headache, because it's not going to change a damn thing. You got to do something about it. So what are you going to do about your headache today? That's what I want to know, right? What are you going to do? How are you going to show up for yourself? How are you going to embody your challenges so that then when you move forward, you will not be scared of any challenges that come your way, because you'll be like, oh man, I already know how to deal with my challenges. It comes my way. I'm just going to deal with it, right? and I can handle it. And that's how you build trust in yourself and in the universe. You build trust by showing up and then seeing the results of what happens in your life when you show up for yourself. All right, these cards are done being shuffled. Let's pull it. Oh my goodness, I love this card, and it's exactly what I'm talking about. Number 4, Spirit of Place. Okay, so I don't know if number 4 is significant for anybody out there, but number 4 is a really powerful number. It is like 2 times 2, but 2 is the energy of doing it together, right? But Spirit of Place, this card is perfect because Spirit of Place is be where you are. Be where you are and make where you are sacred, right? So if you're going through a challenge, it is a sacred challenge and it is part of your evolution. It is part of your journey to evolve as a human being on this planet. And if you believe that everything that you are going through is sacred, then you will treat it very differently. Right? You will be like, this is my sacred responsibility. This is my sacred challenge. This is my sacred life. And I am going to treat it with the respect and the love and the compassion it deserves. You have to, no matter what's going on in your life, it is what it is, and you are where you are. And as much as you want to be somewhere else, you have to make this the place where you can find peace, even if there seems to be no peace and it's only chaos in your life. You have to find that peace. You have to connect with that inner peace so that, once again, I say, so you can build trust with yourself and know that no matter what comes your way, you're going to be okay, because where you are is where you are. What is what is. And you're just going to keep moving forward, knowing that things evolve and change and that you have the ability to evolve and change with it. And in fact, it is your responsibility to evolve and change and make your life exactly what you want it to be and react in the way you want to react and handle things the way you think your higher self would handle things. And when you practice that, you will continue to do it and you will face your challenges in a very, very different way. Okay, I hope that was helpful today. Please, hi Rihanna, hi everyone. Thank you for showing up for me. Thank you for showing up for you. I wish you so much love and joy in your life. I'm here every Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Go to Jumpstart for Change, subscribe, and ding the notification buttons. And remember, you have to shine your light because you are the light. You are your own savior. So show up and shine. I love you all. I'll see you tomorrow.